Welcome everyone to another episode of the Gooned Up Nerds podcast, where we major in movies, minor in comics, and dabble in everything else. I'm your host Oscar, and today I actually don't have Dylan with me to do this because I'm doing this kind of just out of nowhere. Today I have, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ruby, and there's Kira here.
She has
my
her dog. Very adorable dog.
Yes, and I took off her collar that has a bell, so
yeah, she's been kind of a nightmare today.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her, but whatever. She's fine. She's sitting on my lap, and she's part of the podcast.
Yeah.
And I asked her to meow before because I forgot she's a dog.
She did ask her to meow, and it was actually kind of ridiculous.
Hilarious.
It was hilarious, yes, but it was
hilarious.
also ridiculous because it was the most sincere thing. It wasn't even, she didn't mean it to be a joke. She legit wanted, said, "Do you want to meow?" to the dog. It was actually a little disturbing. But anyways.
I think I'm losing my mind.
You might be. But today we're actually going to be doing Get Out, since we're going to be keeping up with the horror thriller theme that we've been going with. Soon we're going to eventually switch it up and then hopefully do more current movies once COVID finally starts subsiding a little bit. But yeah, we're going to do Get Out. It's now considered a horror classic by director and writer Jordan Peele, starring Daniel Kaluuya. I can't even pronounce this guy's name.
Oh, I have no idea.
But he was also in Black Panther, and he was really good in this movie. Allison Williams as the I don't want to say headliner. the co.
I was gonna say co-host.
What am I? Why can't I think of it? I'm a little lit too. So
Co-star?
there we go. Thank you. I'm a little lit as per usual on this goddamn podcast. So I mean, everyone's already seen this movie, and really, I just wanted to show this to Pippy over here, or Ruby. But
No, it's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she has multiple names.
Yes.
I've known her since high school, so I knew her as Pippy. Yeah. So I mean, what did you think of the movie? Just right off the bat.
So I went into it knowing nothing except for the scene where that one guy is charging at the main character, and that's it. That's the extent. Yep, that's the extent of anything I knew about this movie, and I heard it was amazing, and it was very, very, very hyped up. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really well done. I wish I hadn't heard the hype because my expectations were set like sky high.
Yeah.
And also Kira was being a jerk face, so I was a little distracted.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, I thought it was very good. It was very well done. I think it stood well up to the hype, but there's like questions I have. So
Oh yeah, I mean we'll get into it. I mean the reviews have been in for this for a while. I mean we really don't do a lot of current movies on this podcast as of late, but yeah, it's an amazing movie. Just the way it's directed. Jordan Peele, he's originally a comedy writer and a comedy actor, and when I first saw this, I'm like, God, there's no fucking way this is the same guy that did this.
Well, you could tell like when his best friend.
That's the actor's name I think is Lil Ray Howery. I'm really bad at pronouncing names today. My God, I can read. It's just just give me a second. All right, I got. Where are you? Hold on. IMDb. I'm on IMDb right now, because we literally just did this off the cuff, so I'm just going off of. But Lil Ray, God damn it.
Lil Ray Howery.
Thank you.
He played Rod Williams.
Thank you. My God, why can't I say names today?
I don't know. But no, you could tell, like, it was a like, you could tell Jordan Peele. His personality was in there. Like, with the comedy that Rod, his character, brought to the table. Like, you were just like, what? What is this guy? Like, this is supposed to be serious, damn it.
I know. I mean, that's one little gripe I have with this movie is that because of that character, I love that character also. Like, he was just really, it was good to have some levity, but it kind of came out of nowhere, and it kind of fucked with the tone of the movie a little bit.
I'm not going to lie, that last scene with them together, which we'll get into. No spoilers. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Except for me, everyone's
pretty much seen it. And if honestly, if people haven't seen it that are listening to this, I mean, this has been a spoiler podcast from the get-go. So if you want to fucking see this movie before we talk about this, then go fucking watch this movie, then come back and see what her reaction is. See if it matches yours.
Yeah. So like the very last scene of the movie when they drove off, like he was being funny. Oh, I'm a motherfucking TSA agent, whatever. I was like, wait, this isn't the time, man.
He wasn't intentionally being. I think that also might have been a nervous reaction too.
Maybe
because he's the funny guy, so maybe that's just how he,
Right, like that's his personality, and I was like, okay, we don't need that.
I liked his character a lot, but Daniel Kaluuya. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be completely wrong. Yes.
Okay.
Chris, the main actor. He was amazing in this.
He was very good.
I
Kaluuya.
heard, yeah, Kaluuya, and I read stories about him when he was doing the filming of this, and you know that scene in the beginning where she's spoiler alert, the mother hypnotizes him at a certain point because she's a therapist and that's one of her forms of therapy, and he starts crying like profusely. Yeah. You see him like pouring tears. Apparently he could do that on cue. Like apparently he did that and the director yelled cut. He just stopped, cleaned himself up, and he's just like, all right, you ready to go? And then just went right into it again. Started crying just on the spot.
I feel like I've heard of people that have the ability to just.
He's that good of an actor, though. Like he's really good.
On cue. Wow.
I know, but it's insane. But his reactions were so real, and also I think one of the strongest points of this movie is that in the beginning of the movie, if we're gonna start going through the movie now, it's a very authentic how it's like if I were to date a white girl type of scenario.
Right.
There's like certain things that they don't understand, the awkward parents that meet him for the first time, especially if they're trying to be open-minded about the situation and stuff, which everyone wants to believe.
Welcoming or you don't welcome at all.
Yeah, like there's a certain thing that, and also just there's an interaction in the beginning where she has with a police officer that pulls them. Oh, they hit a deer, and then I guess they called a cop or something. I don't know why the cop got involved. I guess they must
have reported it, and he asks him for his ID even though he wasn't driving.
Yes.
And I looked right at you when she was like arguing with the cop, and I was like, that doesn't happen. No one like.
No,
I'm like, but
here's the thing, that does
white
happen.
Female, maybe that's why she felt so like she could. I feel like younger me definitely would have. Today me with everything going on in the world, no.
No, but that does happen. But it's like. At the same time, you see him getting nervous, like he's just asking for my ID. Just let him take the ID. Yeah. Just let this go. And I'm just like, yeah, I understand that because he's visibly nervous. Well, at a certain point, right. Especially since she starts making it worse by getting a little hostile with the cop.
Exactly, that's the point that I meant. Like, as a person of color, you probably would not start arguing back with the cop, and he was getting even more nervous. Like, oh shit, is this about to be a thing now?
Yeah.
And like, thankfully, the cop got like a call or something.
Yeah, and he just left, and he just like, I don't want to deal with this shit, whatever. Like, just here, take your IDs, go,
right.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, and I mentioned this before when we were watching. That's what really good horror is like. It's just like it has to feel like this could happen to anybody. You know, for someone that's a person of color, like watching this, like that could happen to you because there's a certain nervousness. And then also when I talk to, my friends and stuff, they go like, yeah, there's also a stigma when you go to like a party and you're like the only black guy there.
Oh, everyone wants to talk to you.
Yeah. And not only that, it's just like there's a visible, like, you feel kind of anxious.
There's like tension. Like I don't think it's on purpose.
No, it's not.
I think people just want you to fit in too much. It's the same thing. They're too welcoming or they're not welcoming enough. Like they sometimes have to overcompensate maybe. Like,
yeah, and it's like, and you see it like when so at a certain point, the whole premise of the movie is that this guy is dating this white girl and she eventually goes to visit the family. He goes there and there he makes a point saying, do they know that I'm black?
Yes.
And because there is a stigma to it where they're afraid that the parents might not be that accepting of them. But he goes but it just plays out like this awkward, the awkward interaction you assume an accepting family would be having, where they go off, if I could vote for Obama for a third time.
They said that twice.
Yeah.
I was like, please stop.
They start addressing because of the fact they have black servants at the house. It starts making him visibly nervous too. You know what I mean? And
yeah, like why is he the only? There were only 4 of them at that point.
Yeah.
There was only the mother, the father, the girlfriend, and himself, and then 2 black servants who
the
clearly
groundskeeper
looked
and the housekeeper
way too happy to be there. Which didn't make sense.
Yeah, so when you go there and he sees like, oh, it's like they have this like pod people, like zombified kind of feeling to them, it just seems like there's just something off about them. And you just see this as an audience member. You see him that he's visibly like, what is wrong with these people? Because they seem too polite. They seem too eager to be helping everybody. And it's just, it's creepy.
Yeah, and in like real world, you could even go and say, if you told someone, no, there was something off, that person was too nice, no, everyone's going to call you crazy. Okay, so someone being too nice is like uncomfortable, well, you're crazy. So like there is that feeling like he's uncomfortable, but he doesn't know how to explain it, because how can you say you're uncomfortable with someone being too nice or too friendly or too welcoming? I'm going to use that word a lot, apparently. Yeah. Welcoming is the word of the night.
So he goes to the house, and they give him the tour and everything, and then he says he expresses his
culture
concern.
thing. Say the culture thing. The father goes, I love to experience other cultures.
But here's the thing. So you're watching this and you go, this is the awkward experience that you're expecting from this kind of family. But the thing is, as you're watching this too, you're like, it's too normal. You know what I mean? Like it almost seems like they're playing this out a little bit. Like they're acting this out a little bit while you're watching this. The family. I'm not talking about the help around the house or whatever, the groundskeeper and the maid. There's something a little like,
oh, do you think they've done this before?
Something, you know what I mean? She's being cheeky, but
no, but I agree. It feels
it's calculated.
Too smooth. They know what his reactions will be. They know how to kind of come back from that.
Yeah.
They know how to like make him uncomfortable and then kind of change it so where it's like, okay, you're kind of going nutty. Like we're fine.
Yeah.
We're
down
okay.
to like, so when later on when they have dinner, they meet the brother. The brother is that asshole drunk brother that's just getting way too much in your face, getting in your space. It's very typical.
Right, like this is my sister. Let me mess you up.
Yeah. Let me see if this guy can fight. You know what I'm saying? But he starts getting really into like, I think the thing that made it really uncomfortable, where he goes like, based on like your
genetic makeup,
and it's just like, oh, and you just see him. His name is Chris in the movie. The main character, he's looking at him like, oh, you just went too far with that comment.
Right, like
he was visibly uncomfortable at this point now.
He just like grabbed his chin and he was like, oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're going there again. Like
yeah. So it's like, because before he was kind of like trying to play it off like, all right, this is awkward, but I'm just gonna deal with this or whatever. But now you can see like, I am visibly uncomfortable. This is getting a little weird now.
And then the brother came around.
Yeah, and tried to put him in a headlock.
Right, and he goes, I wasn't gonna hurt him, and you can see Chris going, this
like, what
dude
the fuck?
could hurt me. What? Like, then you get this uncomfortable feeling from the entire table. Like, wait, should we have said that? Like,
no, but it's like I said, like that's like an incident that you would expect to happen, especially in like I said, from a family like this. Then the next day they host a party where they said,
wait, we missed the whole hypnosis part.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
so they go to bed, and then Chris wakes up in the middle of the night because he's a smoker, which
they
do not like.
The family doesn't like it.
And the father suggested, "Oh, my wife, the psychiatrist, right, or the psychotherapist, or whatever."
Psychiatrist. I think she's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, because he said therapist, and I think he said psychiatrist. Because even people up here are fucked up. Like, yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I quit smoking because she made me. Like, she hypnotized me to stop smoking." But so he gets up in the middle of the night to go smoke. He had 2 weird interactions before the third one with the mother. He saw the groundskeeper, who, that's the part I talked about in the beginning, which I've seen the only part when the groundskeeper is running, making an A-line towards him, and then just turns.
Which also, I gotta say also, it's like, why are they so overtly creepy? Like why, like, even if you really think about it, because we're gonna get into later on like why they're creepy, but it's like they are doing things that no normal people like. So you said the guy is charging at him in the middle of the night, just charging at him, and then he just makes a turn. He doesn't charge into him. He doesn't tackle him or anything. He just turns and keeps running.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what the. Chris is like, what the fuck was that? Like,
yeah,
and then he turns around and he sees like the maid just staring out the window like a crazy person.
Yeah, but then you realize she's looking at her reflection because the lights are on inside.
Yeah.
And not outside, so she could see her reflection in the window.
Yeah,
but then like she was like touching her hair and her face, and we'll get into that too later. What she was doing, I think I get it.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird. And then she just walked away. I mean, I guess I'll like touch my hair walking by like a mirror or a window,
yeah,
but
but she seemed
not
way,
at like
way
3
too into it.
a.m.
Way too into.
Too into it, and it's 3
Like I
a.m.
said, it was
Why are you
creepy.
walking around?
It's creepy. So anyway, so he goes back into the house. He didn't get to smoke,
Nope.
and the mother's just creepily waiting, like the actual mother of the daughter's just waiting in the living room. And she's like, she starts going off like on the pretense that, I really have to talk to you about this smoking. I don't like you doing this in front of my daughter. Just being, like I said, the really concerned mother. And then
Too concerned.
yeah, too concerned. And then she has him sit down, talk to her, and somehow like she's really good at guiding the conversation.
Yeah, I knew it had something to do with the spoon in the tea, because it's the swirling. Because in all hypnosis, there's like a pendulum swinging. It's some kind of.
It's a metronome thing that happens.
Yeah, so like following it, and he's listening, and then he's watching the tea and the spoon.
And you can hear
and
the
I
noise.
Was
It's
like,
like
out.
rhythmic, like ding, ding, and it's just.
And it's in your head, and I could like see him being like, "Wait, something's happening," but he couldn't move. Like he couldn't really get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And how can you get out of that without being rude?
Yeah,
it's kind of like one of those things.
It's a double-edged sword because it's one of those movies where the character, or at least the protagonist in the movie, like in a bunch of other horror movies, are in a situation where they don't want to be rude. They're just like, I'm going to ride this out. I have to do something, whether it be like I have to do this for a job, or I'm doing this for a girlfriend, or whatever. It's like, but it's almost like the frog boiling in water, where it's just like, all right, I'm just going to wait this out until it's too late. You're fucked. By the time you figure out what's happening, you're fucked.
Yeah, he like really didn't have an exit strategy. Like
like but most people don't think about that stuff.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Like even as a person of color, like there's that awkward, getting to know the family thing, especially if they're white or of a different race or something. I mean, it doesn't matter. It goes for everybody. I've gone through that because I date predominantly white girls, anyways. Besides that, there's something else off besides the normal awkward relation, just getting to know each other thing.
Right, and then with her spoon and her tea and whatever she's doing, she gets him hypnotized, and she takes him back to the night that his mother was killed.
Yeah, which keeps coming back because she keeps bringing it up too, and then she gets him there because it's like I said, she was so good at guiding the conversation, and that actress was really good.
Yeah.
Where she was trying to find an in to his mind, where it's just like, I have to find that thing that gets you in this paralytic state.
Yes.
And she's like, as soon as she found out that his mother died and he was like, it traumatized him somehow. He was younger, and she goes, that's it, and starts going like, talk about this. Like, I want to hear this from you. Like, what happened with your mother? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it, but because of the metronome and the hypnotizing, he starts spilling his guts about what happened. And this is the scene I was talking about where he just starts crying. Like I said,
oh my God, it was like a waterfall.
Yeah, and that's what was so impressive, because he could just do that on cue. Every time he said he was just gushing tears.
Yeah, no, it was like someone left the faucet on. They were very equal tears.
Yeah, but it was so realistic.
But it was real. Like, I felt for him.
Exactly.
He was a really good actor.
Yes.
I think he played every emotion so well, and all the uncomfortable scenes, I was with him. Yeah, so then he gets paralyzed in fear. She takes him back, and next thing you know, he's in this sunken place. And then he wakes up, like sweating.
Yeah, and he goes like, "Oh, was that a dream? Like, what happened?" And then he realizes, because I think he goes back out to, I think he was gonna try and have a cigarette. I don't know if he was, but he does mention to his girlfriend, like, "Hey, like now when I even think about a cigarette, I kind of want to puke," like that kind of thing. So I think she got in my head.
The groundskeeper, he went out to talk to the groundskeeper, and the groundskeeper said, "Did they do it to you yet, or did they get to you yet?" And he also talked to him in a very awkward manner. Chris went out there to talk to him as, "Oh, that's my people." But this was even more uncomfortable than that. This is just a person-to-person conversation. It was just weird, and it didn't seem...
You know what it was? Because the guy, the groundskeeper, when he was talking to Chris, like it almost seemed like...
rehearse lines that you're supposed to say.
Exactly.
Like I'm happy. Are you happy?
Yeah, like I'm zombified. Like it sounded like some guy that was on Molly and Xanax or something. Like he like said, like, I don't know. Like you listen to him and it just doesn't seem right coming out of him. You know what I mean?
Right. And not just from you, from like anybody living in the 21st century.
Yes,
like,
yes.
It was just uncomfortable. So that's when Chris is like, oh shit, that did happen. I did see the mother last night because I think he'd almost forgotten.
Yes.
Or he wasn't sure if it was a dream.
Mm.
Because when he woke up, I was like, wait, was that real or was he dreaming? Or like, what's the situation here? And then he tells his girlfriend, who kind of, she didn't really listen to him. She was like, oh, what happened? And he's like, and he starts telling her, and she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Or like, it's fine.
She made like a joke of it or something, because he actually wasn't thinking anything super sinister either. He was saying, I don't think he likes me. I think he might have a thing for you or something like that. You know, like he was trying to rationalize why the interaction was so weird.
Right.
And same thing, because there's something else happens later on too. I don't know if it happens during, but a party it takes place. The parents are hosting a party, and all their friends are supposed to come in. Which, by the way, it looks fucking weird when they come in.
They come in like 25 limos. Every single one is the same black
Identical.
limousine, and it's weird.
It is
I've
weird.
never seen that many limos.
Because
pop
I'm sorry,
up.
you get like, I don't care how rich you are. I feel like each person should have an individual looking kind of car. Like, did these people all get together and just be like, we're all buying the same limo together?
And they all came at the same time. Like,
which I'm
did
like,
you guys all like plan to leave your house at the same time so you would be falling in line with each other when you come to the
came
gates?
in a caravan. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know rich people. I don't know if this is just how they are.
I am pretty sure they're not like that. I feel like usually they just show up when they feel like it, like most people. But like, yeah, I don't think they're this organized. It was just weird, and they were just
Like
uncomfortable.
I said, like more things just start adding up as to like why this situation is just off on all accounts. I don't think Chris sees like the limousines or whatever.
No, the girlfriend was. No, he did. The girlfriend went to the window first, and then Chris did.
You know, they get ready for the party, and they come in, and it's just a bunch of like old rich white people, like just. But then you start noticing, and I think you mentioned it, in the background, you start seeing people just like staring at Chris. Just not even like just like a glance, like staring at Chris. And then not only that, he starts talking to people, and then, you know, the weird interactions come back again, where, you know, the
Tiger's great, and I'm
Tiger Woods.
like, Oscar, who's Tiger? And Oscar's like, Tiger Woods. I was like, oh, golf.
Yeah, well, the guy was a golfer, and he was asking, does Chris play golf? And
but he talked about him like, Tiger's great. I like love Tiger. And I'm like, does he know him personally? What?
No, I mean, it's just because he just wants to try and make him comfortable.
Yeah,
you know.
But you never say that to any person. Even me as an Indian, I usually use first and last names. Like, if I'm talking about an Indian celebrity, you probably use first and last names. Or I've never said Tiger without saying Tiger Woods.
Oh, God.
Like, I've never said Tiger Woods.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I was like, what? And so I thought that was weird.
He's a golf fan. I mean, I'm sure that's just how. Whatever. Anyway, so he talks to another one that it was even more uncomfortable. It makes him walk away, where he goes like, I think the guy said, the pendulum is swinging in terms of like what's hot right now,
black is in fashion.
Black is in fashion, and I'm just like, ooh, like that's another one where it's just like, oh, that's a conversation ruiner right there, because that's just awkward.
Time, I noticed both him and his wife he was wearing like a black shirt and she was wearing a black dress. So I was like, you know, technically you can argue they are talking about fashion, but I mean, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, it does. I mean, later on you kind of do realize what they mean by that.
Yeah.
But
like it gets confirmed.
Yeah.
Your suspicions or whatever get confirmed as you go on.
So anyways, he walks away because he is now just like, all right, this is too much. And he just walks away. And then
how about the lady who like decides to feel him up? She like feels up his arm. She just grabs him and starts touching him. And then she asks the girlfriend, is it good?
Or is it better?
Is it better?
And
what the
It's just like, I am like a piece of meat. And I'm just like, this is weird.
That's when he walked away. And he's like, I'm done.
And
I'm done.
And he's just like, oh, fuck this. And so he goes, and I think he finally meets the blind dude, right? Or does he meet the other guy first?
I don't know which one came first. But I think he must have met the blind dude first, because then it kind of went crazy after that.
That's right.
Okay, so he goes and meets the blind dude, and I was like, this guy's really nice. I wonder if it's because he's blind. And I felt terrible thinking that. But then he turns out not to be so nice, and we'll get into that too.
No, but it doesn't matter either, because he's nice because he also knows who the fuck he is. Mm-hmm. because it turns out this guy, the blind guy, he's a art gallery dealer.
Yeah, and he's like an art critic too. So both. Like he used to be a photographer. He lost his eyesight, and now he does like art critic. Like
he buys pieces and stuff.
He buys pieces.
But
he
says that he knows who Chris is because Chris is a photographer. And he likes his work, and he goes off about his work and stuff and how much it sucks that he lost his eyesight or whatever. So, Chris bonds with this guy. So later on, Chris is walking back towards the house, and he sees that there's another black person there. Not only that, I mean, we skipped this in the beginning, like the very beginning, but you are introduced to this character in the beginning.
Yes.
But anyway, so you see him there, and he's dressed just like in...
Like a farmer? Like, I don't even know.
The clothes are so... they're bad. Like, I would never... They're fogey. They're really... I don't know how to describe it. It's milquetoast. It is the plainest looking clothes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so... And he talks that, but he's acting just like the groundskeeper, the maid, where they're just, like, kind of zoned out and just... He's calm. He's talking, but he's talking, like... as if he's trying to force an English accent or trying to seem like he's fancy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like authentic almost. And then the guy's wife comes in. And
Who's
you see
30 years older than him.
30 years older. And, you look at this and you're like, I don't know why this is a thing. Not even just because of the race and just there's an age thing. And then.
But she's also like guiding him like, oh, we have to go. And then when they walk away, there's two things. Chris goes for like the pound or whatever, and the guy shakes his fist
like I don't know how else to put it other than like it's he acts like a square, like he doesn't
know what to do outside of whatever.
It's like that person that doesn't know how to be cool, that kind of thing. Like I said, you just go. Most people know what a pound is, but this guy just seems like he's out of touch for some reason. But yet that he's young.
Fist bump, guys. I don't know.
It's the same
I was doing the movement, but I don't. Yeah.
Once again, Chris is like, what the fuck? And so he actually takes a picture of the dude to send to his friend.
Wait, you skipped the part when the wife takes the husband, like the other second black man, over to a group of family members, and she makes him like twirl. And like he's showing off for the other group of people.
Which can you interpret it though like, oh, I just got these new clothes. Check this shit out.
I did not interpret it as that because he was very much a square when he was talking to Chris. Then he went over and he just like bedazzled them with a twirl. I was like,
bedazzled them with a twirl. By the way, I just realized that. Like, I don't know how else to say what this guy's demeanor was except for square. Like, I feel like old just saying that shit now. I just realized that now my vocabulary is starting to become an old person's vocabulary.
You are old.
I know. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Goddamn.
Anyways. But yeah, you're right. So he does that twirl thing. He goes, and the entire time he's trying to talk to his friend. What was his name in the movie? Lil Ray Howery.
Oh, Rod.
And so he's trying to talk to his friend and like saying, oh, this is weird. Like all these people act weird. Not only that, the black people here, they act weird. And then he goes, then this is when the humor comes in like, oh, maybe they're hypnotized because, the mom is a freaking psychotherapist and she hypnotized you. And
to be sex slaves.
Yeah.
that was
his biggest thing. It was like, oh, they're being sex slaves. She's like, she's hypnotizing him and fucking the shit out of him.
Yeah, he would not let that go.
No, but the thing is, like, I like Lil Ray Howery's character because he's like the audience, where he's just like, get the fuck out. There's something wrong. Get the fuck out of there. Anyways, he's downstairs and he wants to take a picture of what's his name in this? Oh, Logan. They called him Logan in this.
Okay.
Wants to take a picture of Logan, the other black guy with the old wife. Takes a picture of him.
And the flash goes off.
Flash goes off. He's like, fuck. Now, this is awkward. But then he notices that the guy kind of spaces out and his nose starts bleeding. And then he just charges at Chris going, get out, get the fuck out. And he starts screaming. And then they drag him off. The dad. Yeah, the mom takes him off to the other room. The dad goes, oh, he had a seizure because of your flash. Yeah. And Chris just feels bad. But, he looks like he feels bad. At first, like, oh, man, this is messed up. I can't believe I did this to this guy. He comes back, but now he's like a pod person again. Like, okay, I'm calm. You know what he acts like? He acts like a guy that's on like a lot of Xanax. Like he's just really spaced out, really calm. Like, I'm okay now. Everything's copacetic.
Oh,
and
you mean when Logan comes back out of the room?
Yeah, out of the room with the mom after,
Yes. Okay.
And he's like, thank you so much for putting me back into calm. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was like on 20 doses of hypnotism and Xanax. Like
20 doses of hypnotism.
Yes, and we now know like the mom can hypnotize people. So she like put him under or something, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry I made you guys feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna go because I'm tired now." Like that's when Chris was like, "What the fuck? Like no one has a seizure like that, and no one acts like that after either. So I don't think this was a seizure." But this is when him and his girlfriend head out for a walk.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, we need some air. Like, I'm going to go talk to him, quote unquote.
And the dad goes, let's go play bingo.
Yeah, and everyone's like, all right, they go back to the party. Everything seems normal. But then Chris goes out and he addresses concerns like, there's something wrong here. Like, I don't feel comfortable. This is getting weird. That guy did not have a seizure. Like, there was something off about him. And then, but during this entire time, and you see the dad, like, at the vestibule, and a bunch of chairs there. Everyone's sitting down, and they have their bingo cards. And he's like, oh, okay, they're playing bingo, but he's doing hand signals.
Yeah, and they're holding up the bingo cards, and I'm like, I don't think any one of those people got bingo. I'm like, do they not know how bingo is played?
I don't think this is how bingo works. Why are they raising up their cards, and why does everyone have a bingo? Or and not I'm even like, bingo. Like, there was, like, all in one word, like, one lines on each thing, under each letter. Yeah, there was one
lines, and I was like, they need to like do circles or something. Yeah. What are they doing?
Anyways, but then as they pan out, you see that there's a picture of Chris, and he's pulling up signals and stuff, and certain people stop putting up their cards, and you see what's happening is an auction.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Yeah. So
big reveal.
Yeah, and it seems is that the blind guy wins the auction.
Yeah. That was the good guy, guys. That's the only guy that was nice to Chris. And, like, we were like, oh, it's because he doesn't see color because he's blind. No, that bitch bought him.
It was fucked up.
And I think it was, like, 10 million because I think he did 10 going, like, he did the hand movement for, like, 10, 10, 10. And I think that was, like, 10 going once, 10 going twice, 10 going
I mean, that would also explain why they're so fucking rich. Like...
Yeah, I was thinking that. But he is a neurologist, they mentioned, and she's a therapist.
True.
And they come from a long line of wealthy whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think his parents were doctors and so forth. They do own, like, 2,500,000 acres.
Yeah, they said, and like I said, like, they even mentioned this earlier, like, oh, we're the only house, like, within miles of here, you know?
Yeah, until you get past the lake, and you're like, wait, I don't see no lake. Where's the lake?
Like, that's how far away the lake is.
Right, like, and they just own all the woods in the area, and that's why they needed so many limousines.
Yeah, that's why. That's why they needed so many limousines. But, yes. So... And then after that, you're just like, all right, now shit's starting to kick off. So he goes back into the house. They're just like, okay, everything's fine. They get ready. And I forget what happened. Does he have the interaction with the housekeeper at this point?
No. So what happens is
I'm kind of
they
lost
go upstairs and he sends. So at this point, he's calm. He's like, whatever, we're getting the fuck out of here. So he sends Rod, his best friend, a picture of the guy in the hat. The old man clothes the other one guy.
Logan.
Yeah, so he sends a picture of Logan, the picture that set off this guy's, quote, seizures. And he sent a picture of the straw hat man. I call him that because he was wearing this creepy ass hat. Anyway, to Rod, his best friend, and his best friend calls him like, yo, that's blah, 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 blah. And
it's Andre Hayward, I think his name was, which I don't know why I remember that.
And they are like, oh, that's why I recognized him. But that wasn't him. That wasn't him, man. Like, he didn't act like himself. He was, like, weird, and he was dressed weird. And, okay, and then...
At that point, his battery dies, though.
Yeah, and done. Oh, yeah, because the housekeeper's been taking his phone off the charger every time he leaves the room.
Yeah.
So it's constantly uncharged.
Yeah, so, at this point, I think he's just like, we have to get out of here, that kind of thing. Oh, yeah, this is when he says, we have to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And he tells his girlfriend, look, we have to leave. And he's like, okay. She was like, okay, we're going to leave. So
and
they start
packing.
She
goes to get her bag, and he notices a room or something in the corner.
Yeah.
A door, a tiny door.
Yeah, which also I'm like, I thought that was, I know they have to do this to move the plot along, but I'm just like, it's just a little too coincidental and too convenient. There's just like, I just happened to see the secret door.
Actually, they showed it once before, and like in the middle of the night when he got
Really?
up. Yeah, when he got up for his walk or something,
Uh-huh.
he saw that door open and he just looked at it and he needed his cigarette.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't really go into detail, and I was like, okay, that's weird. You just kind of glossed over it.
Oh,
but
I didn't notice that. Okay.
They were setting it for this exact thing. Like, no, I think it just constantly opens. It's just not shutting properly. Like, it's just swings open.
Oh, I see.
So I think that's what they were getting at. Otherwise, she would never leave that open.
Yeah. But so he sees it open. He goes in and he notices like a box or something. He opens it and he sees there's pictures in there. It's pictures of his girlfriend. He's looking, but now he starts seeing that pictures of old boyfriends. It looks like, and they're all they're all people of color. And not only that, when he the thing that makes him just stop and go, "Holy fuck! I gotta get the fuck out of here!" is he sees pictures of her with the groundskeeper, and then not only that, the maid.
Yes.
Which also like, and we'll mention
they're all
later,
like coupley pictures. It's like one has an arm around the other type picture.
He closes the door and then she's there, and he goes like, "All right, let's leave." At this point, he doesn't trust her anymore.
Also, by the way, in the very like first 5 minutes of the movie, when he asked her, "Do your parents know that you're bringing a black man home?" And she said, "No, like, why would I tell them that?" And he's like, "Well, you said you've never dated a black person, like a black man before." And like, so then it kind of ties into like how every single picture in that box was just a person of color.
Yeah, the entire, and I mean that. I'm glad you're picking up on this shit because I don't remember any of this, and this is like the 4th time I watched this movie.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm bad at this. All right. But anyways, he's just like, "All right, I don't try." Like, "All right, let's go. Just find your keys on the go. Let's get the fuck out of here." So he goes downstairs, but the brother's at the door once again, being way too aggressive, being creepy, and he goes, "Oh, nothing's wrong. We just gotta go or whatever." And he's asking the girlfriend, find the keys, find the fucking keys. Then slowly you just see the mom come in. The dad come in. The dad says some really creepy monologue about
something
being
about
gods
fire
and gods in cocoons, and I'm like, really?
The
now you're doing the creepy villain monologue?
Yes.
And then the entire time Chris is like, "You please find the key." Like, he's getting really desperate now, and then she completely changes demeanor and goes,
"Yeah, she's just like, enough is enough.
Like, I'm done playing around. Like,
yeah.
I'm not giving you I'm not giving you the keys."
Yep.
And then the mom comes in and does 3 taps on the teacup, and he's back out. He passed out.
Yeah. He goes into the sunken place, and he can like kind of see them from this little box in the sky, which are his eyes, because he's like sinking. I think it's like we've all had that feeling. I feel like it's so relatable, that feeling.
Yeah.
When you feel like, I don't know, like
It's
I have
like
that
sleep
feeling.
paralysis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I have it during sleep paralysis, except my eyes are usually closed too. But you can't move, and you're sinking into something, or you. Yeah.
I've also heard like people describing this like when you go under for like surgery or something. This is also kind of like what it feels like.
Yeah, like you can't move.
You can't move, but you slowly start zooming out until you black out, that kind of thing. But
anyway, yeah, so that happens to him, and then they kind of pick him up and put him in the basement.
Yep.
Which the father mentioned in the middle of the movie during the tour. Oh, the basement's just closed because there's black mold in there.
Which also, when you think about it and you look back on it, it's like, so these guys are this rich, yet their basement somehow was able to get black mold to the point where they can't go downstairs.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it taken care of soon enough before they couldn't actually be down there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's already suspect as it is. But like,
I mean, they can have 2 help around the house, 24/7 help, but they cannot get rid of black mold. They can't get rid of
the black mold down there. But
they have this large party with like 50 people in limousines.
Yeah, but they can't get rid of the black mold. Things just eventually add up, and at this point, Chris is just like, okay, I'm fucked, because
he's done.
Yeah, like I said, he just sat there and got boiled, and he's down there in the basement now, tied up with the straps that they have on, look like belts. There's a TV in front of him. The TV turns on, and I don't know why they show this to him, to be perfectly honest, because I feel like even if it's for a procedure or something, I don't think this is prudent. So I think
they're just really proud of like getting to the point where they own this
crazy whatever they're doing.
Yeah, because they also called it an order. So they're part of an order. So all those family members,
It's
they're a
like
part of this group.
so probably like a Freemasons kind of thing or something
Yeah,
like that.
like they're part of a big group that pays tons of money at this club.
Yeah,
And
so
you get membership privileges, aka what's about to happen to
yeah,
him.
so it's the grandfather in the video, like saying, "Oh, like there's this." Once again, talking in like cryptic language, going like, you're gonna be a part of something special. He goes, we've done this before. Something. I think this is where you pointed out that you think that whatever is about to happen to Chris actually happened to the daughter.
Yeah, so towards the end
or
of the
Chris's
movie,
girlfriend.
so this video was like I think catered towards like the people that are going to be purchasing their services that they will be providing soon, which they have not actually shared yet. He said, "Okay, and for whatever this can be, we can do this for you, and we have proof because I've done it to like my own flesh and blood.
Okay.
And like this is the proof." And then they just kind of pan out with the grandparents, the husband and wife, and the two kids, the son and daughter. And at first I thought maybe the son had the procedure because he was acting funky, but then and maybe he like broke out of it, so it's not 100% effective.
Yeah.
But as we're going to go forward, I think maybe the daughter had the procedure because she just kind of like flips a switch, right? Like she's just stopped looking for the key. She just stopped playing the character, like she was tired.
I know.
She was like, "I'm done."
I think also I mean like my theory was also and I still maintain that she's just a sociopath. Like
yeah,
she's fucking
and I mean
crazy.
that could be it too. But I just wonder then who they did this procedure on.
Yeah.
Because when we go forward, it couldn't have been done on whoever. Like
yeah. I mean, like I said, that's a good theory though. Like that. Maybe that's why she's like this because, like I said, she just flips a switch. She's just like, all right, I'm completely straight faced. Like, no, I can't give you these keys anymore.
Yeah.
And then, so he's down in the basement. He sees this video, but then the video turns to the T again, and then you hear the sounds, and he knocks out again.
Yeah,
and then
3 taps.
Then the movie turns to Lil Ray Howery, like going like, why haven't I seen Chris? Why haven't I seen Chris? Like, what the fuck is going on? And this is where like the tone of the movie kind of shifts to where it's like kind of funny again because he's like doing his own little investigating. He goes to the cops.
He's a good friend.
He's a great friend. I love his character because he's really cute and especially he takes the dog with him everywhere.
But the cops don't take him seriously. Like he goes and he's like, "My friend's been missing for 2 days," and she just looks at him.
Yeah, and then not only that, he tells her the theory about the sex slaves, and then she goes, "Wow, you know what? I have to get somebody in on this. Hold on." And she brings 2 other detectives in, and he says the whole theory, and the entire time he's talking up like, "Oh, I'm TSA, so I'm kind of like you guys, but not really."
He's like, "I'm a detective. I got this."
Based on my detective intuition. And you see after that he says the sex slave thing, and they just all start laughing at him.
They crack up, and this poor guy. I mean, he was onto something.
He was almost right.
Like, yeah, and I can see where he pushed his luck.
Yeah.
But he really was trying to find him.
He was trying, but I mean...
But there's only so much you can do, and it's a grown-up, and unless you have proof of something going wrong, which isn't...
Yeah, because when he explains the thing about Andre Hayward, or Logan, the guy that has the episode with the Flash, basically what he's describing is like, so the lady detective was like, so he found an older wife, moved into the suburbs, starts dressing different, so basically just saying, oh, so he improved his life and you think something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what she made it seem like. So, because it's like, so clearly you're just upset that your friend is doing better right now.
Than you.
No, just doing better in general. Because he's like, so you're saying that she's in a rich neighborhood and gets everything that, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And it's okay, I know this sounds crazy, but
and that's when he got into that because she was just not seeing his perspective. Yeah, like he was doing good. He was doing good work. Yeah. It just didn't go the right way. And I don't know if this has to do with the fact that he's just comedy.
I mean, I think that's what it was.
Personality,
I don't know. I liked his character, but once again, it kind of weirded out the tones of the movie where it just out of nowhere it just got funny. I guess maybe because Jordan Peele felt like I need some levity at this point because it's getting really heavy now. But because we go right back to Chris in the basement. And now the TV turns on, and it's the blind guy, and he's bald.
Yeah.
And the blind guy goes, hey, look, we're going to talk a little bit because they say this actually helps the procedure if we bond a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he goes, yeah, okay, so you don't really give a fuck about that. All right, I'm going to tell you what's going on. So he basically is just saying that I'm going to be my brain, or a piece of my brain is going to be transplanted into yours. So I will effectively take over your body, and you're going to be trapped in the sunken place.
Right.
And,
and that's when you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, what? How many people did they do this to? All those pictures
upstairs.
And then like the garden guy, what's his
the groundskeeper.
The groundskeeper, the maid, and you're like, and the other guy, Howard or whatever, Logan.
Logan.
And it's just like, how many people came before me?
Yeah, so, and he's just like, and then he even makes the point, like, yo, why black people? And he's just like, don't even really think about it like that. Like, because as he was thinking about it, the guy said, oh, it's black is in, like, that's the fashion right now. So it's just like, it could be anybody in the future, or it could have been anybody before that. Like, it's just that, and the guy even goes, I don't even care about that. I want your eye, because he's such an amazing photographer, and he wants the eyesight to do his own photography again. He's like, I don't care anything about that. I just want your eyes. Yeah. And then goes, all right, we're done. And then they cut off the feed, and before they could put the tea back, he notices that there's tears, and because when he gets hypnotized, he scratches, because when he was a kid and got nervous, he scratched. So he scratched the sofa to the point where fuzzes, or the stuffing was coming out. Yeah. And then so he's looking at that, and then the tea comes on. They don't show it, but the tea comes on, and he knocks out. The brother comes in to try and to get him out.
Wait, so they started the procedure.
Yeah.
They started the procedure. The girlfriend calls his best friend, Rod. So she calls him because she sees that he's been calling, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, he left 2 days ago, and yeah, I haven't seen him. He just got upset. I guess he took a cab out of here." And Rod's like, mutes her and like cursing her out, like, this motherfucking bitch, she thinks she's smart, I'm gonna fucking record her. But I think he took like way too long to do this, because he was cursing her out.
But that was the funny thing. He was trying to be really slick about it, and he was just really bad. And like, but here's the thing, so as she's saying this, she sounds really concerned. Like, you hear her over the phone, and you think she's like pacing back and forth and all, and like oh, I don't know what's happening, I don't know where he is. But she's in the kitchen, completely straight faced, staring into like, nothing in the dark.
There's no emotion on her face. There's nothing.
All the emotion's still coming out of her voice. But
right.
It was really creepy, because she just was just blanked out, just trying to make all of the acting come through her voice. And then the entire time he's like, all right. And as he records her, she goes like, stop fucking around. Like, I know you like. And then she gets into which she's
like, you want me, and this is like, she just like starts talking
she's
about
like, oh, I
him.
know you want, like, oh, I know you want to fuck me and stuff like that. I know you've always wanted me and things. Like,
and Rod like is like, fuck this, and he hangs up. And I mean, all I could think about in the back of my head was like, if something came back to him and someone found this recording, they would believe her, not him, because it's a recording. Why would
you think that's why she did it?
Yeah, I think so. I think she was covering her ass, but at the same time, like, she called him.
Yeah, that's right.
She returned his call. So I don't know, that part was a little weird.
It was weird. Like, at first also I thought that actually makes way more sense, because I thought I was like, if this is her trying to get another person in, she's really sloppy about this.
No, I think she just wants to keep her distance, like cut ties after you take one.
Gotcha.
Like, if you think about it, Chris he was solo. He only had friends. He didn't have any family. He said it to her too, like, you're my family now. I'm going home with you, before they started packing.
Which
and this
really
whole
sad.
Shit went down. I think she's just cutting ties, like making sure like all
awkward.
The ends are And then after he hangs up, they pan out on the girlfriend, as she's like saying all these things like, oh, you want to fuck me, you want to do this and this, like, you've always wanted me. The family's just standing in the background like, good job. Like, on their face, they're saying, good job, honey. They don't say those words, but you can see they're like,
it's so creepy.
Yeah, they're just like proud of her.
They're all sociopaths. That's the thing. It's like, nope, we don't care about, because at the end of the day, they're hoeing out their daughter to bring in guys. And even the guy goes, yeah, I think it's a little weird what they're doing, but whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do. Like, I don't care, as long as they get what I want.
Yeah.
And the brother comes in to take Chris for the procedure. After that, you see him, the father cutting open the blind dude's head and starting everything up. What you didn't see off camera was that Chris actually took the stuffing of the couch and put it in his ears. So the teeth thing didn't work.
Right.
So as the brother unties him, he grabs I think it's a billiard ball or a bocce ball or something.
I think it's bocce, because billiard, it's too small to be a billiards But
no, it was big. It was big.
Yeah, no, I mean, billiards balls are too small for whatever he was holding
Okay,
up.
so bocce.
But why would they have bocce downstairs
Maybe it was a game room, and that's where they had
like,
all the
so
shit.
the basement isn't a basement. The basement is like a hangout, like a cigar room for rich people who go hunting and have deer on the wall.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's almost like a rich person rec room.
Yeah, but like I didn't see no like it isn't that a long.
It might have been something else. I don't know. But either
anyway,
way, it was a large.
That's what it looked like.
It was something blunt that he picked up, and he just smacked the brother in the head, knocked him out cold. The dude was bleeding from his head, and then.
Oh my God, that was decor. He took it out of a bowl. That was decor.
Oh, okay.
What? Well, who needs that down there?
They're rich. I mean, they're fucking rich.
You know what? You're right. And it was like bright yellow or something.
Yeah. So
anyway, so he knocks him out. Continue.
Yeah, he knocks him out, and then he looks at the deer head on the wall, and after that, the father is like, "All right, where the fuck is this? Where the fuck is Chris? Where the fuck is my son?"
As he like cut off the cranium and threw it in the trash. I'm like, what?
I know that was weird. I'm like, that's a little. Well, I guess because he's not gonna use the body anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
That was weird. I wanted to see the procedure done, to be honest. Go on.
But
I was curious. I was like, I want to see how this works. Like, give me. You said the theoretics. Like, you gave me the theory. I want to
see how you actually do it.
Yeah.
I bet if they had more of a budget, they probably would have put it in. But this is actually not a high budget movie.
Yeah, no,
it was very. I mean,
I think that's why people were surprised it came out so well.
It was awesome. Jordan Peele's an amazing. Like the cinematography, and there's just a lot of set pieces. The way he moves the camera around, like when Chris was in the basement. They had such a symmetrical shot with these two like not podiums, but they were like two decorative. I guess they were podiums. And then you see the deer head in the middle. Chris is in the middle, and the TV's in the middle. You see it zooming out from the deer head, and you just see everything, and it's symmetrical. It just looks really creepy because it's not a sterile room, but it gives the idea of sterility. Like he's about to go through a procedure, and it is like a prep room because. The blind guy said, "Hey, this is prep."
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, what?
Let's go back to the blind guy. Sorry,
okay.
We're gonna go back real
problem.
quick to when the blind guy was on the TV.
Yeah.
And he was explaining what the procedure will be that's gonna be taking place, and they were like, the first step is putting you under hypnosis to get you to that place. The second step is psychologically tormenting you, which is what's happening right now. And I thought about it. That's why
they said prepping, but you think that the idea that they have to torment him, that kind of thing?
I think so, because then he's going to start becoming like a shell of himself or something, and he's going to get like detached or psychologically messed up. Oh, so you're saying that's why she used the
trauma to get to him?
Yeah, I think so, and then that's why the maid was being so weird around him, because then he's like overthinking. You know, he's messing up his head by all this overthinking. He's getting inside his head. This is weird. I'm uncomfortable. What's going on? And then...
It's to throw him off so they can get him off guard.
When the groundskeeper, like, ran at him, I feel like that was part of, like, screwing with his head. That might be part of the prep to get him to go, like, under and just, like, you know, like,
no, that's an interesting
unhinge
theory.
him.
That's an interesting theory. That makes sense because if all of this prep and stuff, and then also then the guy has to talk to him and all that stuff, so they actually have some kind of connection. And I guess that's why the guy really bid for him. He's like, I already have like kind of a background with this guy, with Chris already.
Right.
So I'm gonna get this. I want this. But anyways, the father goes to check to see what happens with the son, and he turns around and Chris charges at him with the deer head and impales him through the neck.
Which was fucking great because I did not see that coming. I was like, good job, buddy.
Yeah, no, that was actually a really cool way for him to kill him because I'm like, I would have just looked for like a sharp thing or something, but no, he went with the deer head. And not only that, like the guy gets impaled and then somehow knocks over a candle or something.
Yeah, he like tries to like move and drags down. Why did they have a candle in the surgery room?
I don't know.
Yeah, he knocked down like the candle holder and it like lights on fire on the bed that was supposed to be Chris's.
Yeah, and
why is there a candle in the surgery room?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
What the fuck?
Maybe was it a candle?
Yeah, because
it
like he knocked it over and then it was in flames.
But
I guess they wanted to
maybe I think it was just, I don't know.
A nice mood. Like
I guess maybe.
I guess they had lighting by the brain, and he wanted it to be romantic in the front. Like
I
what?
Don't know.
I don't
but
know either.
Rich people, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And at this point, Chris is just stumbling through the hall like he's kind of out of it and shit. He runs into the maid. Maid runs out of the house. He doesn't give a shit. He goes in.
He grabs the phone, a cell phone.
Oh, right. He grabs his cell phone. And he doesn't try making a call or anything, does he?
No, he like just grabbed it when out of the corner of his eye he sees the mother, and immediately he like runs towards
the teacup.
They both look at each other and they both look at the cup on the table and they both charge towards it.
Which is funny because it's like that's something you do with like a gun or like an actual weapon, and they're going for a fucking teacup.
But that is the weapon. It's the mind weapon. Yeah. And like she really did a number on him. Like he immediately knew, get that shit out.
Which also that means like after this, he's going to have to go to a real therapist and get that fixed. Because like that means if anyone taps on a glass or something like that, he's out cold.
No. So I think technically it has to be that specific sound. So she did a specific sound.
With
and
that
yes,
specific teacup?
I don't know if it has to be the specific teacup,
well,
but it has to be like the same frequency because it's sound. So it could be a different teacup, but that makes the same exact sound when you tap on it. I think that's how they work.
Yeah, he'd be screwed. Because, I mean, how does he even get out of that? They
no, he wakes up. So thankfully, like, since he never had the procedure done, he can wake up and be himself again.
Yeah.
Either way, you're fucked.
This. But, like, so the mom just tries to stab him with, like, a letter opener or something. And he just he gets stabbed through the hand. He took it like a fucking G.
Like champ. Like, it was amazing. He did not even flinch. He was like, I am not going down to that place ever, ever, ever again. Yep. He was committed.
Yeah, he pulled out the thing and just stabs her right in the eye. She goes down.
Oh, my God. That was amazing.
I know. It was, and also, it's just like, he was just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Then he tries to go for the door, and the brother comes back somehow.
I saw blood pouring out of his skull when he went down because he hit him like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, he did. Oh, no, 2 times. But, like, he was gushing blood out of it.
I have to tell you, before the second murder and the third murder even happened, well, I guess not second because the brother came back to life. Yeah. But as soon as, like, the brother went down, I was like, oh, shit, you're getting fucked. Like, you're going to go to prison, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, too.
I was like, it doesn't matter. It's self-defense. No one else sees this.
However, if somehow, I mean, unless... I mean, if he, I don't know. That's actually a good question. Because honestly, anyone could rat him out. Because I was about to say, everyone at the house is dead. And honestly, there's a fire. So any evidence in there is burned up.
But if you still can see a dead body and see exit and entry wounds and
fingerprints and all that other shit.
And some fingerprints depending on how bad the burn is. But yeah, I was thinking about all of that when this shit was going down. And I was like, please stop murdering people. Okay, but murder them because otherwise they're going to come for you. But you got to get the fuck out of there somehow. Like, I was thinking all these things, and I was like, he's fucked.
But you know what's funny, though? Like, you think about that because it's this movie, but, like, if you think about any other horror movie...
Nope, but that was the underlying tone, right?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. It was actually a point.
Yeah,
but it actually is a testament to the movie where it makes you think, like, differently about this main actor, because if you think about any other movie where the other...
Yeah, like, I would not be thinking of like, them going to jail. I'd be like, get the fuck out of there, bitch. Like, go. Murder them all. Kill them all.
Like, you know that, like, at any horror movie where, like, there's that last girl, that final girl, where she's literally, like, stabbing her way through whatever and just to get out of the house or whatever dungeon she's in.
Yeah,
and you don't think
rooting for her. You're not thinking, oh no, you're gonna.
You don't think like if a cop comes, they're gonna go, oh my god, this woman murdered all these people. Let's arrest her or shoot her or something.
A person like shows up at the police station. They're not gonna like.
Yeah, but
I didn't think of it that way. Yeah. I was like, you're gonna go to jail. Please don't go to jail.
Yeah, like I'm thinking you should go back to the house, bleach everything, make sure that there's no evidence. Like you gotta get the fuck out of there. And I'm like, and not only that, you gotta like change your name because not only.
Yeah, I was like, I have to confess, at the very end of the movie, I was like, please have taken your license. I was like, please, your wallet, please. But
please
he
left his phone.
But he doesn't know where his phone is.
Oh, that's true.
But like,
I don't know.
But yeah, but
you think about all that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it's insane. Like I said, this movie is a testament to me because it makes you think differently about horror because it's a different kind of horror.
Right. This wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't all just murder and blood. It was psychological. It was fucked up. It could happen to you. It could happen to me.
And that's
it
what
was real.
They even make a point in the movie when the blind guy's talking. It's like, don't think about it like because it could be anybody. The fashion could have been Indian people. The fashion could have been Latin people at the time. It could have been Asian people. it doesn't matter. It could have happened to anyone, and
Right.
that's why this movie's so good, because it still makes it feel like it can happen to anyone. But
Yeah.
because it's Chris, who's a person of color, there's a new set of fears and a new set of like consequences and things that happens where it's like, holy fuck, like I didn't even think about this for any other movie except for this. Like, I don't think the final girl or like the last guy is gonna go to jail for defending himself to get out of a serial killer's place.
I don't think I've ever thought that about any of those like slasher films or whatever. They're like, stabbing their way through. They shoot people. They're bleeding. Their DNA is everywhere. I've never been like, oh, bitch, you about to go to jail. I'm always like, get the fuck out. Don't look back. Don't look back. Keep running. I'm like rooting for them. And this time I was just like,
I'm like, Chris, you need to leave less of a footprint here.
Please stop. I'm like, just, you can't like leave without killing them. They're going to find you. Like,
yeah. So anyways, he defeats the brother or whatever. And
he stabs him. He was smart. He kept the scissors or whatever with him.
The knife was still in his hand, I think.
He stabbed the brother in the knee, which was great because that kid put him in a headlock.
Yeah.
Fucking headlock, like he wanted to do at dinner night.
Which, by the way, it's like the brother's obsessed with MMA, and that's why he tried to fight Chris during dinner.
Yeah.
But then as he's trying to get him in a chokehold, which also, if he knew MMA as well as he wanted to or whatever, he would have put Chris out like that. But Chris was not going down.
He almost did, though.
He almost did, but he
did. You saw
he
Chris,
didn't clench it enough.
But yeah,
he's just not, and that's the thing. And I think he's just a bad fighter in general. And I think at a certain point he wanted the procedure done for himself.
And maybe they did.
Maybe
they didn't let him.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that's why he always gets so angry when these things happen, because he's like, I want my chance, you know?
Yes, he talks. When he was talking to Chris, and he was talking about how he's genetically like superior, or if I had what you have, I would have been the best motherfucking fighter on the planet.
Yeah. So
in the beginning.
That's what I think.
Anyway,
he takes him down. He's trying to get out. He gets the car keys. He drives, and he hits the maid outside because the maid had run out of the house before.
And then, boom, flashbacks of his mother.
Of his mother, who died from a hit and run. That's what
and that's what triggered the hypnosis thing in the first place.
So but as he stops the car and he goes, fuck, like I can't leave her, like I can't do this like I did to my mom. So I guess it's a little story, like an arc for him, a character arc where he's just like, I can't do this again. So he grabs her. He's like, it's probably not her, but I gotta, he grabs her, puts her in the car. And then you see, like, as she's like nodded off or whatever, you see the scar on her.
Oh my God.
The scar on her forehead.
Hideous, yeah.
Where you can see that they cut her head open, and that's where the procedure was done. Because you also see the girlfriend come out with a rifle, sees that he picked up the maid, and goes, oh, grandma.
And that's when I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that you got surprised by that reveal. But it's like, yeah, no, the grandma and the grandpa, or like the grandpa that was in the video, is the groundskeeper and the maid.
And that's when you said that great line that they said in the beginning of the movie, when Chris was questioning the black maid and the black groundskeeper. The father was like, oh, they were our grandparents' caretakers, and we just couldn't let them go.
Yeah.
And you're thinking they're talking about the maid.
Yeah, like,
like the caretakers, but they were
talking
really
about the parents.
Yeah, Oscar said that when I was like, wait, what? He was like, they couldn't let them go. I was like, oh my God.
It was a good reveal because, like, also, like I said, I watched this movie already before, but this is her first time, so it was actually kind of cool seeing you react like that. And then the grandma goes nuts, tries to make him like, just like, you ruined my house, and starts attacking him, and then it causes Chris to crash, effectively killing the grandma at this point. But now he's just like super injured, and he's trying to get out of the car.
Oh my God! And then his side view mirror gets blown off as he's trying to get himself put together.
Yeah, and it's his, I guess, ex now, like trying to shoot him down. And even, like, honestly, I was expecting, like, her to be like, you killed my family, but no, straight face the whole fucking time.
Oh my God, yeah, she was mad, but you couldn't see it. Like, there was no visible emotion on her. She was very
serial killer shit. And then not only that, she goes, get him, Grandpa. And you see the groundskeeper come sprinting.
Oh
for
my God,
Chris.
that freaking beeline. And he tackles him.
Yep. And then Chris, smart as fuck, takes out his camera.
Remember the phone he grabbed right before he attacked the mom.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did that on I don't know.
I
don't think he did that because of that.
But he thought he was quick on his feet. Good for him.
And he took a picture of the guy causing a flash, and then the guy snaps out of whatever the grandpa's taking his control.
So smart. The grandpa, not the grandpa.
Yeah, the original
guy comes back in the body.
Yeah, he gets out of the sunken place and takes over his body again.
Yeah, and he's like to the granddaughter, the ex now. He's like, "Gimme, I'll shoot him, or I'll take care of it." And he shoots her in the stomach.
Yeah, I was like, yes, that is awesome. And then
he blows his head off.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess at that point, you know, it's like at a certain point, the grandpa's gonna take over again. So he's just like, I gotta do what I gotta do, which is a shame. But like, he was really smart.
Yeah, he did good.
And not only, but then this is what kills me. And this is what happened the first time I saw this, where Chris goes to make sure, I guess, to see if the chick, his ex-girlfriend's dead.
No, she was no.
She was trying to go for the gun.
She
was
going
for
the gun, yeah. So he grabbed it from her, and I was like, "Why are you fucking putting your fingerprints?" That guy literally just saved your ass, and he put his fingerprints on the gun and shot himself in the face. This is all gonna go down on him. Why'd you put your fingerprints on it? That's all I could think. I was like, why?
Oh my God.
The rifle or whatever.
Yeah, but
I was like, why did you do that? I was mad the entire time he was doing that. I was like, why? And then he started choking her, and then she started laughing.
Oh yeah, no, because it's
she's psycho.
You know what I think it is too. She's like, you do know that like if you're screwed at this point, because if they see your handprints on my neck, that's it. And then but then at that point, I guess he just stops. Like he can't kill her.
Yeah, and she's psycho. Like,
yeah, and then not only that, then you see the flash of
God,
cop
my
lights.
Heart dropped.
I know.
I thought it was the cop from the beginning of the movie.
Yep. And I'm just like, like when I first saw this movie, I'm like, oh my God, I really hope this isn't like a Night of the Living Dead situation where he gets killed anyways. You know what I mean? But then. And even the girl, the ex-girlfriend, is like playing it up, like help me, help me.
Your heart drops.
And then what happens is you see that the door open. It says TSA, and Rod comes out of the car. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "This is awesome. I'm so glad this is what happened."
I'm so glad he like took charge and was like, "I'm just gonna go find my friend by myself."
Yeah.
And like he took immediate action.
Which, by the way, they really don't explain how he knew where he was.
Well, he said he has his TSA ways or something.
I have a feeling they probably maybe he tracked his phone or something somehow, or he could have just looked through Facebook, honestly, because that's honestly what he did with Andre, the Logan. That
he
that
might
dude.
have like just known where they were going. You know what I mean? Like you tell your friends, so and so lives around here or something. I mean,
it's possible.
And if that's the only house in that region.
Yeah, true, I guess. I don't know. It was a little weird. But either way, I'm glad that was what happened. And the girl's just like, shit.
Yeah.
You can see it in her face like, well, that's that. And then Chris just like, all right, fuck this. And he just leaves her. They have that little exchange where like, oh, I'm TS motherfucking A, that kind of. And I'm just like, you're right. This is not the time. Because Chris is just like, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but this is the worst day of my fucking life.
Fuck out of here. And the guy's like cracking jokes. And I'm like, please stop.
And I'm like, I'm waiting for like, I don't know, like the girl to get up or something. But no, she just dies on the floor. And then that's the end of the movie. They drive off
and she dies.
That's the end of the movie. But like, honestly though, by the end of that, I'm also still thinking like you, like there's going to be repercussions after this. Like what if the police show up there and they find all this evidence and all this shit?
I mean,
or at least the evidence that pointed to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the house is on fire. The house is going up in flames. So I don't know what's going to get.
Too far for the house to be saved, but the car has his fingerprints, so that's something I thought about. And then he grabbed the rifle, so that has his fingerprints. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
and if she died immediately, his handprints might have stayed on there. Because he really squeezed her neck really hard for a minute.
But I mean, at the end of the day, though, I guess that's not the concern of this movie. But I mean, other than that,
while you were setting up for the podcast, I looked it up. There's a second ending.
For real?
There's an alternate ending to this, in which instead of TSA, Rod getting out of the car, it's 2 cops.
Oh, really?
I think 2 white cops get out of the car and they arrest him and he goes to jail.
Really?
That's the alternate ending, I think.
Oh, shit. I wonder which one Jordan Peele actually wanted to do. That's interesting because that means like he was either gonna go really cynical with it, or he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna make this lighthearted. I don't know. I mean, do they have it on YouTube? Because I could probably pull it up real quick.
You could. Let's see. I am looking.
And just give us a second, people. We're gonna watch this, and
we'll be right back.
All right, and we are back from our little break. So we just watched the alternate ending, or what Jordan Peele called the first ending of Get Out. And actually, what me and Pippy were talking about with the evidence and just how we were thinking, like, if a cop came, he would be screwed.
Yeah, like exactly what we were talking about half this time. Like, everything points to he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail. And the original first ending, alternate ending, he ends up in prison exactly like we thought, and it's the system is broken. That's what the point was.
Yeah, but and also just the fact, like he even mentions, like I said before, the house burnt up, so the evidence that could have maybe cleared him is all gone. So all they have is really just the bodies that are laying out in the lawn and all this other stuff. You know, the groundskeeper, the maid, and the daughter, most importantly, who the cops saw him strangling her, or at least they walked up to him as he was finishing strangling her.
Yeah, so in the original ending, it seems like he actually finished the job of strangling her. In the ending of the movie,
in the new one,
in the movie,
theatrical release,
yeah, he actually released her before she died, and then she just passed away as he was driving off. In this one, he actually finished the job, and that's exactly when the cops pulled up.
Yeah, and then
there were 2 white male cops.
Yep, and then
like guns blazing.
They arrest him. It's like months later. His friend comes to visit him, Lil Ray Howery, and they have a quick exchange saying like Lil Ray's still trying to get him out, but you know, he goes, you know, don't worry about it. I'm good.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Like I beat it, or like I stopped him, or I stopped it. Something like that, something to that effect.
He said it's done.
It's done.
It won't happen again or something. But I think like basically he's like, yo, like there's going to be no more future me. This isn't like all those pictures he saw. There's going to be no more other bodies.
Like I stopped the cycle.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, me too.
Like the cycle is broken. The 2 people who can make this happen are dead. Like the neurosurgeon and the psychiatrist.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, there's not going to be, I stopped it. And he effectively becomes a martyr. So we also watched the commentary with Jordan Peele, and he did originally want this to be the ending because, like me and Pippy said, like this is kind of like almost the logical next thing that would happen. And he even says, like, I wanted it to be like this because, look, not only did he also stop the cycle of what was happening with, you know, people getting abducted and having their minds taken over, but he also finally got over the death of his mother, which he always blamed himself for when he went back to get Georgina, which was the maid.
Right, because instead of being paralyzed in fear, he got out of the car to help someone.
Yeah, so
even though he didn't know what would happen.
Yeah, so he conquered his fear and stuff. So, and then Jordan Peele said the same thing, where he is effectively a martyr right now. And it's like, you got to leave me alone, Rod, his friend, because there's nothing you can do here. Like, you're up against some Illuminati shit, which is what we were talking about before. They're part of like this club, this thing called a Coagula or something.
Coagula, I could not think of that before.
Yeah, these are the people that do the procedure to, you know, abduct
they're part
people
of this order, and they're the only ones that can get these procedures
done.
And
they're super fucking rich.
Yep.
And so that's why he's saying, like, you can't fight this. Just let it go. Like, I did what I had to do, and we're good now. And
Jordan Peele, he changed the ending because he said it was too dark. Like, he said, tides are turning. Like, we need some kind of relief. That the ending isn't gonna just.
Which is good to hear and see, because like if I didn't hear him say that, I would have thought the studio would have been like, we don't want you to do this. Like, this is too much. But it actually was his decision going, hey, the times are changing. You know, people are actually getting more aware about race. And you know what? This whole time, like, Chris is getting fucked up. They need a hero. They need a lighthearted ending. So they went with the one that you see where she dies on the floor and they just drive away.
And I'm so happy they did that one because, like, yes, there's some loose ends, but you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah,
like,
either way,
I'll take it.
Yeah, either way, like out of the movie's fantastic, Like from start to finish, it's awesome. Like I said, there's some gripes that I have. A couple of Pippy actually cleared up for me. Like the ending, like I said, was the biggest linchpin where you're just like, this is not really how it play out. But the fact is, Jordan Peele actually did it how it would actually play out if had the cops shown up instead of Lil Ray.
Yeah, and thank God they did not. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna
Because
take this ending.
Yeah,
any
there's still
day.
a chance that they wouldn't find any evidence that tied to him. You know.
Yeah.
So there's always that possibility that ending never happens. You know.
Yeah.
But overall, amazing movie. I'm glad I got to show it to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've been wanting to watch it for some time, and this is way better than
Us.
Yeah, I was like, this is us. I was like, is that
you had the reaction? A lot of people like that's a hit and miss.
No, I liked that movie. I just thought it was like
too much.
It wasn't explained properly. It was very like
too open ended.
Yeah, and then we had so many questions. I actually liked it more after we discussed it than before, because like I'm an avid reader, so like I use my imagination a lot. So when you discuss things, it like leaves more room for like
I mean like that. Like I said, this one was way more concrete. It was a tighter film as opposed to Us, but I think Us he was going for something different, and he was trying to be way more out there.
This was really well done, and like he wanted to pinpoint the underlying racism that exists everywhere, whether those people say I'm not racist, or oh, I don't feel that way, or I don't think that way. We all have prejudice. I cannot say that word. We all have prejudicial thoughts towards certain people or groups, and sometimes it's not intentional, but
he does. But this movie, he brings it to light.
Brought it to a point where it's like, you know exactly why that's wrong. Like nothing was said straightforward. You know, like tiger. Like it wasn't said like, oh, you're
it's
black.
It's almost like
you
guys are overcompensating so much. It's coming off as racist.
Yeah, like so it wasn't like he brought it to that level where it's like not just uncomfortable, but you know it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said too, like he does such a good job. Like I said, there was a new fear he brought out of this, where it's just like now you know what people of color not like people of color aren't fearing that people are going to take over their minds, but there's that level of tension and uncomfortability when you're getting introduced to like your white girlfriend's family, or you get invited to a party where you're the only person of color there. Like, I mean, I'm sure that's happened to like maybe you, where you're just in a party where you're the only brown person there.
I've been to parties to me like almost every party I go to.
That's happened to me. I granted
certain groups, like I'm the only non-white person there. Luckily, I'm very fluid in certain situations, so I don't feel that way unless someone calls it out, and then suddenly I start looking around like, oh shit. Like so I live in a neighborhood that is predominantly white. And I never, ever thought of that. Like, it did not even cross my mind. My coworker, he started new, like, a year or two ago. And he was like, oh, hey, where do you live? So I told him, and he was like, you do? That's, like, an all-white neighborhood. I was like, huh.
That's a weird thing to mention, but okay.
Really? And then I sat there for a bit. I was like, hold on, let me think. I was like, yep, okay. Thank you so much for pointing that out. I actually had no idea until you just said that, but now it's going to be in the back, and it was in the back of my mind for like 2 months or something before I could finally let it go, because I just kept looking around like for another, and it's not a bad thing, but it was just funny that I hadn't like noticed it until someone pointed it out.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm blessed enough to have been on the better side of things. I notice it a lot more now just because of political things happening in my neighborhood. But yeah, back then I was like, wait, what? Why would you say that?
No,
Why would you say that?
You don't think about that, or at least we don't. Like I said, this isn't an experience that we've directly had, but you are now aware of it because you see it now. You're like, and it's authentic. Like the acting and the way that the movie was done was so good. Or you just like any good horror movie, it could happen to anybody, and like I said, there have been moments where I remember now, I went to New Hampshire to visit this girl I was dating, and we go to the supermarket to get some food. I noticed this like midway through us going through the supermarket. I was the only person that had any sort of pigment in their skin in that entire supermarket. And not only that, I started noticing that we were getting some looks. Huh. And I mean, because she started to hold my hand a little tighter and started like holding on to me and stuff. I'm like, I thought she was being cute, but like I'm looking around and I am legitimately the only person that had any sort of brown pigment, anything on them. And then it wasn't anything hostile either. It just this little layer of tension.
Just curious. You know what I mean? Like
it's just little layer of tension. That's it. It was in the middle of Bumblefuck, New Hampshire, and like literally, there's like nothing around us. I don't even remember what the supermarket was called. It wasn't a Walmart or anything, but I noticed that, and I even told her like that was a little weird, and she's just like, don't worry about it. You know, it's like just don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, I'm not going. I didn't harp on it anymore after that, you know, but. It was only something I remembered, just like, that did I mean, it wasn't anything hostile. It's just you noticed it, just like with the dude, there's a little layer of tension where you're just like, this is a little odd. Like, if these guys decided to turn on me right now, I'd be fucked. I mean, we could it could be worse. It could be way worse.
And you know what? We have like 7 million stories between the two of us of small incidents, big incidents, whatever.
Yeah, everyone that has.
But this movie really did a very good job of like being subtle. Like, it wasn't so overtly, you're black, we hate you. It was, we really
and it wasn't even really anything about hate though.
Yeah, like there was no like, it was just weird. Like it wasn't like, it was just uncomfortable, and he brought it out in such a subtle way that it wasn't so loud and like
I said,
in your face.
Yeah, like there was the awkward interactions. That was just it. It's just that awkward racial interaction that you have in these sort of scenarios, and that's why it was so effective, because it was just like, yeah, I could see this conversation happening. And it's not like anyone said like the N-word or like tried to be too hip, and they tried like,
and like the blind guy said,
it could have been anybody.
Anything.
It's whatever was in fashion. But
they just picked this for what's in fashion now, which is crazy to me that you can pick.
That's how rich they are. Where race is the fashion. That's
who says race is in, this race is in right now? Like, what the hell? That makes no sense.
But then also it's like that was the one that made him go, all right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Well, from that conversation. But yeah, overall, amazing movie. I'm glad I got to show it to you. But yeah, anything else you want to add to this?
No, I liked it. Thank you for watching it with me, showing it to me.
Well, thank you for being here. But yeah, that's all we got for you today. If you can, actually, you know what? I don't have anything else to say to you guys. Fuck you guys. So
bye everyone.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.